So the Sixers go into Chicago on the second of a back-to-back and pull out another win. Big late-game shot by Joel Embiid. The Sixers have now won 2 in a row, and things seem to be heading in the right direction. We will break it all down. Let's go.
Perfect.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into Philly Take with RB, number one show for Sixers fans. You know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe to the show, hit the bell so you don't miss any of the content. Today we are back, and yes, the Sixers pull out another W, 114-109 on the road. And the most important thing, even though it wasn't perfect, it was gritty. There were ups, there were also some downs, which we will, take a look at and all. The most important thing is that the Sixers have now won 2 in a row, 2 big wins on the road, Toronto and Friday, Chicago and Saturday, and now they're sitting at 3-4, and maybe you're feeling a little bit better about this team, right? Things are starting to head in the right direction. They're figuring some things out, especially offensively, so definitely good to see, and adding Joel Embiid back into the mix last night, they still were able to pull out the W. We will take a look at it all. I'll give my main takeaways, and definitely want to hear about what you feel in terms of this team and where they're at this point in the season. I did not watch the game, all of it, in real time. I was at Xfinity Live last night, but I went back and took a look at some things. So again, we will break it all down. This is the breakdown show, the day after show. We will be live going forward for almost every single game. We missed the last couple, but we shall be back. And as always, like I said, doesn't matter what kind of content it is. Maybe it's a breakdown. We're always taking a look from an extended point of view and deciphering what is going on. So shout out to everybody. I want to talk about this game last night. I definitely had a few main takeaways that stood out that I think can be positives going forward. Before we take a look at those, shout out to the sponsor of today's show. BetUS is one of America's leading sports books for over 25 years. They've even been coined as America's favorite sports book. They offer some of the industry's biggest and best retail bonuses to keep their players betting longer. Also, they're the only sportsbook that offers players 24/7 VIP one-on-one customer service. A lot of sports going on right now, whether it's the Phillies, whether it's the Eagles who are undefeated, whether it's the Sixers who are starting to get the ball rolling, all those and a lot more. They have live bets, value props, player props, odd boost, parlays, and just a ton of live bets during any single game. So go click their link down in the description. Click that link and sign up and use promo code RBPhilly. Deposit $100, get $125 free dollars to play with. So you deposit $100, you get $225 to play with. Shout out to BetUS for sponsoring today's show. One of the best sports books doing it out there. Go give them a check. Speaking of the Sixers last night, I hope you put your money on the Sixers because they came out very resiliently, man. And, I got to give them credit. It starts with the top. We've been hard on Doc Rivers for a couple games. We have to give him some credit. He came out here and coached a great game. My one main takeaway from this game before we start breaking it down is, the offense flowed better. Like it looked more smooth, finally, right? We're incorporating the different guys into the offense. Obviously it felt a little bit different from the night before because you had Maxey going insane and that was without Joel Embiid. I wanted to see how we integrated him back in, how we kind of allocated the touches. And that really was my main takeaway. And I was very, very happy to see, looking at the box score, look at Joel Embiid, James Harden, Tyrese, Maxey. This is what we need to do on any given night. Now, obviously, James Harden struggled. He was 2 for 13 from the field. He did go 11 for 11 from the line, which made up for, some of that deficiency at 11 assists. So again, still finding ways to contribute. Joel Embiid had 25 points in his first game back. To me, he looked a lot better. He was moving better, looked a little bit healthier. It seems like he's trending in the right direction. Only had to play 32 minutes, 9 for 15 from the field. Maxey played 29 minutes, 5 for 14. It looked like, Doc was trying to, not give him too much, especially on the second of a back-to-back. But look at that, 15, 14, 13. That is how you need to allocate touches to your top 3 options. This is what I would hope to see most nights, in terms of sharing the ball. That way it's not too heavy on Joel, too heavy on James, and, Maxey's just standing out there doing nothing because we saw the night before, all of these guys can be utilized. But that's on the coach to kind of sync it up and figure it out. And I thought last night was great. I saw a lot more pick and roll. Thought the James Joel pick and roll was very effective. The Bulls kind of looked lost on defense, and they were able to get it done. But shout out to Joel Embiid because, it was his night, man. He was the leader. Like I said, it's going to kind of be a hot hand. Who has it on what night? Joel Embiid came out. He was great. He was energized. He once again beats the Chicago Bulls, and he put an Instagram post out after the game with the caption Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers torches Chicago, and so does Joel Embiid. He has never lost against the Chicago Bulls, now 12-0, and it was courtesy of Joel Embiid to come out here and save the game because, the Sixers were up. They were dominating early. They were leading. And then what happened again? And this is an issue that we still need to address. Sixers in the third quarter start to choke up the lead. At one point, I think they were up 17 or 18. The Bulls come all the way back. And then going into the fourth quarter, it's tight. It's back and forth. And then with 4 or 5 minutes to go, the Bulls take the lead. They took the lead earlier, but the Sixers had regained momentum, and then the Bulls take the lead again, and you're like, here we go. This same common issue with Doc Rivers teams, and, the Sixers choking up the lead. The offense kind of looked out of place in the third quarter early, and the defense, although they were better, and they did come in clutch late in this game with a couple key stops, especially Embiid on, DeRozan and Caruso. They strapped them up. The defense needs to be consistent, and, they were great late in this game, but that third quarter, it just seemed like the Bulls coming right at the end of the first half, leading into the third, were just gaining all the momentum. But anyway, Joel Embiid with the big shot of the night. Here it was tied at 109 eventually with 24 seconds to go. And, James Harden holding the ball up top. Now, I don't know if this was a design play. Embiid sets one and pops, and they get him open for a three. Is that what we designed there? I don't know. What I do know is that Joel Embiid hits a huge shot. He needed that not only for this game, but for his confidence and momentum. He's looked a little bit out of sorts, especially with James having a struggling type of night. Embiid comes and hits the big shot. Sixers have too many weapons when they're all clicking. The Bulls could not do anything about it. I thought DeRozan played well. I thought Levine played well at times. Obviously, Matisse Thybulle was in the game, and it's so interesting because, Matisse Thybulle didn't even play for 5 games. He played a total of 5 minutes, and now he's played 20 plus the last couple nights. And Thybulle is a Levine stopper. I thought Doc did better with the matchups, and I thought he was trying to mix things up and trying to throw different looks at the Bulls. So I was happy with that. I thought the Sixers hustled more. To me, it kind of looked like they were waking up over the past 2 games, and that's definitely exciting for me to see. I need to continue to see that. And I think you have to do that in order to trend in the right direction. Also, I wanted to pull up this one play that I thought just kind of showed, more of a versatility with the Sixers offense. So you have James running the pick and roll, like I said, with Joel. It was very effective. It seemed like we went to a heavy dose of it last night, and we should every night. And, Joel Embiid's going to set the high screen, and then he immediately rolls. He doesn't wait. And I think that's key for Joel Embiid in order to put more pressure on the defense, because once you're more decisive, they have to make those quick choices, and usually it results in a guy open, which it did here, and immediately Harden hits him with a bounce pass. Now Embiid comes up, you see Caruso kind of leak off Tyrese Maxey, because he's like, do I bleed in or do I go, and stay on Maxey? And obviously he's going to pick up the ball, so Embiid picks it up right away, and great vision. Maxey slides over to the left a little bit, catches it, and then boom, a wide open 3. These are some of the things the Sixers need to continue to incorporate in their offense. I thought it was a great play right there, and I thought we saw a lot, just more things being tried out with the Sixers offense. You have all these weapons, you have to utilize them, and I did like the allocation of touches. And really, the other main takeaway for me in this game is that, the Sixers didn't go away, right? They go and they choke the lead. They give it up. Yeah, you're kind of down on yourself. You're thinking, okay, it's going to be another one of those games where, we're going to be screaming and hollering. But the fact of the matter is the Sixers toughed it up. And in the last 4 minutes of the game, they showed that they were the tougher team, and they were able to pull it out. And they showed their strength. And that's huge for me. When you have wins like this, when you go down to the final minutes, these are the type of wins that build character. And I was very happy to see that. Like I said, Maxey and Harden weren't anything special last night, but it was a Joel night. This is where he stepped up and got it done. Tobias gave you 13. Tucker gave you 8. He did have 6 rebounds, though, which was nice to see. And then your bench, once again, when the bench is flowing, the starters have it much easier, man. We definitely need to keep seeing this. Niang had his best game by a mile this year, 15 off the bench. You had Melton, who, by the way, continues to step up every night. He struggled those first couple games. Melton has been balling. Very happy to see he had this one play, where he kind of crossed up his defender a little bit. And this was beyond the three-point line, which I have not seen unlocked from Melton. And he pulls up a quick shot and knocks it down. That was nice to see. I remember James Harden hit a clutch mid-range late in the game, which was tough, like a turnaround fade from like 6 feet out. I mean, Sixers made the big shots when they had to, and these guys came up and they played their role. Like I said, Thibault got 21 minutes. Harrell had 12. Once again, no Paul Reed. So I don't know what his role will be moving forward. Seemed like Doc was trying different things out. You held DeRozan, like I said, 24 points. I honestly thought he should have had more shots. LaVine had 20 points. Vooch had 23. There's still a lot of things that the Sixers need to clean up, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But once they get it clicking, and I think this is a huge win moving forward for this team, right? Now you have the Wizards a couple games, the Knicks. The Sixers can just rack up these wins, man. I mean, you're right back on track and you're feeling much better. And hopefully you can kind of just disregard some of these first games where it's just been very sloppy. I thought this was a great team win, especially going back-to-back on the road like that. It's not easy from Toronto to Chicago just like that overnight. And the Sixers showed resiliency. So finally we can say that about this team. There's still a lot I want to see cleaned up, but shout out to Doc Rivers for having the boys ready. And shout out to the guys for staying tough even though it seemed like they could collapse late in this game. Those are my main takeaways. I want to see a lot more of this moving forward. This needs to be our identity, and if so, this Sixers team can be very potent. Those are my thoughts. Give me yours down below in the comments section. How did you feel about last night's game? How about Joel Embiid hitting a huge 3 to seal the deal in Chicago? Once again, appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll be live going forward. Hit the like, comment, subscribe, and like always, I will catch y'all on the next one. Peace.